One of the ways of investing into the community of young people, young leaders who come every summer to attend Renewing Our Minds gatherings in Fuzine, Croatia, is to invite back some of those people to serve in the leadership team. So this summer we were blessed by about 15, 16 young people who came from different countries, and they formed the leadership team. Some of them came earlier, about 10 days before the ROM Gathering. Some of them came about a couple of days before, but altogether I can say we have had a very dedicated and committed group of leaders serving all of those who came for the first time to attend the ROM Gathering. I can say that those people worked with the enthusiasm from the beginning to the end. They didn't mind the hours, and especially I would like to say that the people who came 10 days before were really dedicated. They worked every morning, every afternoon, every evening to make sure that all the materials, everything that needed to be done was ready so that the ROM Gathering can start on time. In addition to this, I can say that this was a group that was united, that was together. Unity was at a very high level among the team members, and this is something that really blessed in a major way the entire gathering.
What was really fantastic at the ROM this year was that it brought together people from different places of the world, but brought together people that in a certain moment of the history or in a certain game of the history they became enemies. And we received here at ROM this year 3 categories of ex-enemies: people from ex-Yugoslavia, people from ex-Soviet Union, and people, the 2 pillars of the hate during the Cold War, American and Russians. And there is a saying, if we don't understand the mistakes of the past, of the history, we risk to repeat it. And in this respect, I think that ROM created the perfect space of reconciliation, the perfect framework for practically applying the instruments of reconciliation and for a better understanding for these young people. And probably the mission of the ROM this year was healing history by healing memory.
ROM was a wonderful experience also this year. It is wonderful to see so many people from different backgrounds, from different nations, and to be connected together based on the values of Jesus, who brings reconciliation based on love. This year I found ROM very special. I really felt a bond amongst the people, and we had many deep discussions. We did not change other people's life, but also my life, and ROM is important, and it was special that this year also were friends from the former Soviet bloc present, and it was good to share it and to share the vision of ROM further, because the vision of ROM is not only a vision for the Balkans, but should be a vision for all over Europe and for all over the world. Therefore, I'm encouraged and also to spread this idea further, to be united, to discuss based on the love, not only by all the sessions, but most in the interaction, who we are, to follow Jesus by his principles, but to love the other and love yourself and to serve each other and to create a new community. Because for me, ROM is not only a gathering, but it's a community where people sustain each other. And every time when I'm visiting different countries, I see people, friends, ROM mates, and we feel something of the ROM again. And we should continue that, and that it will be growing, that it will be touch also other areas, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, the States, and much more other areas.
What I really liked was the speakers that were teaching us and speaking. They were really they had really good thoughts. Especially I liked Mac, who's only 25, and he did a really good job about presenting us some conflicts around the world. So like in North Africa and Israel, and we could apply that here. What he's doing there, we can apply that for the conflicts that we had here on Balkans.
ROM 2011 was a very special time for me, as was ROM 2010, but this year being my second time, I met so many beautiful people from all over the world, and there was just such a sense of unity and a sense of family and love right from the start that was definitely the most beautiful thing I've seen this year.
We are about to leave after wonderful 2 weeks in Fuzine, having ROM with, I would say, chosen people very well, young adults who are big potentials to be people ready to change the things back home in their regions. This year was especially good by the people from the region who have been chosen, and I'm hoping and looking forward to see them in a couple of years and to see the change that they have brought back to their own communities.
Mm-hmm. Here at ROM, there are a lot of fun times. Going down to the beach, the island Kirk, or walking in nature with friends. It's not only the formal lectures that really change you, but also the informal times you spend with people having coffee and having in-depth conversations. And that's really the magic of ROM, in a sense, that you're given enough time, 2 to 3 weeks, to really get to know people beyond just the surface. And when you're able to do that, you're able to forge true and lasting friendships. The music here is great. It's very inspirational, and the worship as well. It's good to be with people who are still exploring what they think God means to them, because it's easy for those of us being Christians for a long time to become a little jaded and just go through the motions. But when you have people who are have newly discovered Christ, it reinvigorates your faith.
This was my third year at ROM, and for me it was the most amazing and powerful experience. One of the reasons why it was the most powerful is because I really felt God's presence working, starting from the entire team and then also throughout whole ROM. And it's amazing how God worked in the individuals, like participants who are here, and the unity that was among team, it just amazes me, and I'm really thankful to God for that. The speakers were great. I learned a lot of new things about, and also reminded about reconciliation and everything that we are supposed to do and be example of Jesus.
Thoughts about ROM? For me, it has been always a challenge. Like I realize that there are things that I'm not so eager to do, but they are very important for me and for others also to do. So every time I think at ROM and I speak with others about ROM, in my mind it goes something like, it is a challenge, it is something that provokes you to get out, to push your limits, to get out of your comfort zone, and but this is only the part related with what drive means, but it is also something that is enriching for me, and as from my experience with others, I can say for surely that others feel enriched, and and for many, ROM means a turning point, and something like the start for a healing in some cases, and in other cases a start for a long-lasting change.
I think that something that really impresses me about ROM is when they come and they're in an environment that becomes really safe. It's amazing to see what happens with people, and often they come very closed and very quiet, and you don't even really get a sense of who they are. But after a couple weeks in this environment with a constant persuasion towards love and reconciliation and the higher and more beautiful things of life, you see people really open, and I think this is amazing. And some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in people have been at ROM. Beautiful moments of people really connecting on a level that goes beyond the normal world, and to actually see like a transformation of a character in the space of a couple of weeks, and the transformation of the way someone thinks, I think is really amazing, and a testimony to just the power of love and the power of acceptance, and the power of service.
But one thing that we keep with us, it's the amazing things that happened at ROM this year, 2011. I think was a journey that each of us took in discovering ourselves, especially who we are in Jesus and the way that God sees us. And we actually, we felt loved. The presence of God was so, you could sense it even in among the participants, the way that they were interacting, the way that their things were revealed to them. So I'm really excited, and as one of our speakers said, and then later on we took in, today we'll be starting a new life. So I think not just I, but a lot of us, we started a day or a journey of a new life.
ROM is much more than a gathering or an event. It is actually a movement that gathers together young people, young leaders, into a family of leaders and friends, that once they have come together and spent some time in a very much relational and interactive community, they stay together. And this is going to happen also with this generation of young leaders that has attended the Renewing Our Minds Gathering 2011.